chat, or YouTube comment sections. Guess who's back in the news again? We got Johnny Somali back in the news again. And apparently, Japan is done with IRL streamers. Now, if this is what I think this is, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not surprised at all, to be honest. I'm actually not surprised at all. I was just waiting. I was like waiting when it was gonna happen, you know? So let's take a look, shall we?
Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mutahar. I have a real positive video for you. Okay, this is gonna probably put a smile on your face. If you guys ever wanted to see an IRL streamer, a real, actual degenerate, get their teeth kicked in, I know every day somebody wakes up with a big smile on their face when somebody gets their just desserts.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I feel like I would not be surprised if Japan starts putting a law or so about streaming that you need a permit or so to film now these days, you know?
This is a passport, okay? I'm a Canadian, as you can imagine. This is my Canadian travel documentation, okay? Every 10 years, I go to the government. I write.
No,
out
I
this
wouldn't.
big
I
long
wouldn't. I
paper,
prefer
okay,
wouldn't
this big
want that, to be
application.
honest.
I send it into them. I give them some money, and after a couple of weeks, they give me this little document. Okay, this belongs to the government, not to me. This allows me to travel across the entire world. If I want to go to the United States, I'm gonna need this. If I want to go to Japan, like we're talking about today, I need this. If I want to go to, I don't know, South Korea, I need this. Now, I'm a firm believer that we just shouldn't be handing these out to anybody that applies, okay? Now, I've noticed recently in the last several years, IRL live streamers, it's kind of like looking at a plane. Actually, probably shouldn't be saying that out loud after recent events. But it's kind of like looking at a...
Yeah, I heard about that an airplane crashed or something like that. There's a video on it that we can probably discuss about.
Yeah, it's kind of like looking at a train wreck. It's kind of like, you know, slowing your car down and looking at that nasty wreck on the highway. Just because that's just morbid curiosity. That's what human beings do. And that's one of the reasons I watch IRL live streamers, because honestly, I don't think I've
that's what
ever
I've been noticing
seen
too
one
as well.
good IRL live streamer. I would actually want to ask you in the comment section below, is there one IRL live streamer that hasn't committed a crime on camera, that hasn't been a nuisance to society, that just hasn't been a degenerate pile of crap? Now, in the world of IRL live streaming, there's, you know, smaller characters like Norm, for instance, who I talked about before. Norm being the guy who went through severe sleep deprivation and all forms of mental torture for a little bit of clout on the internet. He also was involved in the pump.fun stuff, where literally you had developers making crypto tokens and committing blatant crimes on camera, okay? Stuff that I can't even show you, all right? It's wild stuff. We live in a wild timeline, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, people will do anything for money at the end of the day, you know? Like, there are actual, like, just people who will do anything for a good chunk of change of money. So it's not surprising to me.
Now, obviously, Norm is pretending to be homeless until he earns 1 million to prove it's easy, with 12 whole viewers watching.
Homeless until I earn 1 million?
Is he ever going to really get the whole $1 million?
I mean, $20 is
donation of $90,000 to $100,000 from each fucking chatter. I'm gonna straight up say probably not. Okay, probably not. And it's also funny, you know, you always witness these guys who are like, let me make fun of like homeless people by just pretending. Let me just cosplay homelessness, as if those guys don't already have enough shit to deal with, anyways. But obviously, I'm not here to be Captain Kangaroo of the internet. You obviously understand that there's some empathy you should have for somebody that is completely down on their luck. People don't just choose to be homeless. There's a lot of reasons for it. But anyways, Captain Kangaroo shit aside, obviously, Norm out here is going to be sitting there trying to earn a few bucks until he at least proves that it's easy to get out of homelessness and you can become a millionaire just by streaming yourself. And mind you, he's doing this in New York City, being a fucking nuisance. So it's already like, the guy has already made it severely difficult for himself too. He's playing like homelessness on one of the hardest like servers imaginable. But yeah, this is like brain dead stupid shit. And I wanted to start off as kind of like a palate cleanser, so to speak, before we really get into the meat and potatoes. Something that I saw floating around on the old TikTok here real quick, the old Instagram Reels, the old short form content farms, is you actually have this image right here. Now, I've blurred the section on the left, and I've blurred it because the best way to describe it is a woman is sucking a dildo that is attached to a slot machine in what I assume to be one of the shittiest casinos, just looking at the carpets in Las Vegas, okay?
Are you serious? Are you actually serious? the dildo challenge. Is that what that is? The dildo challenge? That's what I was thinking. I was thinking immediately the dildo challenge when I see DI right there. Yeah.
Okay. Now, obviously, I did not censor dildo challenge. Now, I don't have to explain what a dildo is. I'm sure some people can figure it out. What is the challenge, so to speak? The challenge is to go in public society and basically commit, I don't even know if this is a crime or not. Like, I don't think attaching a phallic object to stuff and basically doing this doesn't count as public indecency. But just to show you how wild it is, like, you've got this happening on the left, and you've got somebody who's flown in on the right to gamble away their savings right across somebody doing the challenge here. Now, obviously, this is, I don't think this challenge has much merit to it. I just think it's goddamn insane. Just internet-wise, it's insane to see. But, like, you know, at all of it, we're just escalating.
Man, you guys are like... You guys are the most horniest creatures I've ever met in my entire life. I have not seen levels of horniness in a long time, to be honest. Holy shit, dude. God damn, man. Holy fuck, man. You guys are taking horny levels to like on a whole new different level, to be honest.
In things of illegality, right? Like Norm wasn't really doing anything illegal other than just sitting there and making a fool out of himself, which ain't a goddamn crime. I don't know if the challenge counts itself as a crime too. We'd have to ask some legal experts about it. But
you know what we're gonna have? You know all these people who like doing these challenges or so in real life. Let me see. It's gonna be something like this. Let me see. What was the name? What was the name of that one image? What is the name of that one hentai? It's gonna be like that one hentai where it's gonna be like what is it? Oideyo Mizuryu Keilan? Yeah. The sex park. It's gonna be that sex park hentai in the future. Someone is just going to invent like a like the sex park or so from the hentai show, and it's just like, yeah, there you go, there it is, chat, there it is, right there, it's right there. Damn, look at this shit, to be honest.
Character you may recognize, old Johnny Somali. Now again, you might be like, Muda, why are you giving these people attention? Bro, you can give these people a massive amount of attention, but when they've now involved themselves in a legal situation that potentially doesn't look great for them, you could have a million eyes watching you, but you won't be able to monetize that, nor will you be able to parlay
I've seen it
that
before.
into some real career down the road. You know, I've spent 10 years on this platform, and if I wanted to get
there
out...
are actually women who actually watch hentai, so you'd be surprised.
10 years later and do things in cybersecurity, I very much could. I could focus on other avenues.
There's a lot of women of culture.
This guy has made a public nuisance of himself. There's not much
we just don't talk about it. That's about it.
Into something else. So why are we talking about Johnny? Well, Johnny, from what I understand, is, if you've been not following up with this, he has basically been in South Korea's attention legally for a while now. And from my understanding, he's not really allowed to leave the country because of pending legal issues. So what he's done is he's basically thrown the remainder of the IRL crew kind of under the bus. Watch this. Japan is a country that Johnny has been banned from.
I want to make this message because I've been gone for a long time. Let me introduce myself if you don't know me already. I am Johnny Somali. I am part of the criminal nuisance live streamer gang called CX.
You know, I'll give this guy something. He's a fucking troll.
Jesus
now, if you don't know
Christ.
what CX is a internet crack house that is headquartered by Ice Poseidon. You may remember this from
Ice Poseidon. Yes. Everybody knows Mr. Ice Poseidon.
IRL streaming back in like 2016, 2017, like that era when IRL streaming was kind of all the rage. Ice Poseidon was basically like a progenitor of the IRL streamer. Like, if it's anything you have to give that guy credit for, he knew how to make an entire genre, and he also knew how to wrangle that genre in for a while. I mean, there was an entire situation with him basically running one of the largest crack mansions in fucking Los Angeles, and that thing basically came crashing down. I mean, you had the FBI involved at one point, okay?
Jesus Christ.
So obviously, Johnny has since aligned himself, at least on the internet, with CX. To even which the CX guys were like, no, this ain't us, chief. Because if it's anything the Japanese police are watching, it's this guy and anybody he's connected to. So obviously, at this moment in time, ladies and gentlemen, the kick streamers have decided to jump in and invade Japan and basically make a nuisance of them. Some of them involve people like, obviously, Ice Poseidon.
The Yakuza.
Yakuza.
Yeah, them. I hope they get
Fuck.
They're all gay.
Gay.
Now, obviously, that's just probably the lighter clip right there. That's Ice Poseidon going up to some random Japanese streamer and basically telling her, yeah, you know, it's time to insult one of the largest transnational criminal enterprises in the world. Now, there have been streamers who have fucked with the Mexican cartels, for instance.
Yep.
That are no longer with us.
Yep.
Yeah, I assume once you start insulting the leadership of one of the most dangerous criminal outfits in the world, an outfit that literally should internationally be designated as a fucking terror organization, that's how dangerous they are. Yeah, if that costs you your life, nobody's going to be surprised. See, there's a statement called fuck around and find out, okay? Now, if you're in the FA phase, okay, which ICE is in, you really pray that you never see the FO phase. Now, a lot of people have said maybe the streamer has no idea what she said. I'm just gonna say it like it is, okay? I'm sure she understands the word Yakuza, okay? All right, I'm sure she knows what the name of one of the leading names of organizations in Japan are, right? The Yakuza is all around and pretty prevalent to this day. Now, obviously, I don't think ICE is in any danger doing this, to be honest with you. It's not like the Yakuza are going to come out and make national headlines by offing a guy. But if you're a native of the country and you just keep antagonizing them, nobody's going to be shocked when you disappear out of nowhere, okay?
True. If you keep, it's like that saying, if you keep poking the bear, so the bear is going to start attacking you if you just keep constantly poking it, you know? If Poseidon just keeps stirring up the pot and just keeps poking at the bear, you know, sooner or later, it's gonna explode on his face, you know?
The Yakuza is not like the Yakuza from, like, Infinite Wealth or, like, a video game. No, they're a pretty scary f***ing organization.
Yeah.
And if you want to make sure you are above the average life expectancy of your country or the world, you probably don't want to insult people that are...
Even then, right? Even then, for me personally, right? If I ever met like a Yakuza or so, like if I go to Japan or like ever meet one or so, well, number one, I'm not going to be scared, right? Because they're just kind of like doing their own thing. They're just kind of like minding their own business, you know? I'm not trying to antagonize them or anything like that, right? But if it's these streamers or so who are like poking, keep constantly poking, you know, keep poking and poking and poking, you know, trying to get a reaction to something like that, no one would be surprised if they disappeared, okay? All right? It's just like, well, shit, you play dumb games, you win stupid prizes, you know? I'm just saying.
Really dangerous and really powerful, and they've got resources that are nearly infinite. Now, sometimes a live streamer is confronted by actual human society, and they really don't know what to do at that point. So here's one where a streamer literally starts harassing a staff member at the Sapporo Snow Festival at one of the...
Oh yeah, we saw this one. We saw this
comes in
video.
and starts confronting the individual. So watch this.
The next person to come to this vending machine is...
Yeah, we saw this one. We saw this video already.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
This guy's so
This
stupid.
is like a whole block of shit. Do it, I'll drop 100 subs. You know I will. So drop the 100 subs. Because I'm going to do it more than now that... Yeah, drop the 100 subs. Drop the 100 subs. This dude right here that looks like he's having a nice day. See me, my son? Okay. Sorry. Hug. Sorry.
The Japanese guy just gets hit with the actual snowball. And again, one thing about Japanese society, and I've been to Japan a few times in my life, great country, great people, amazing people actually. You know, some of the nicest people you ever see. I don't know if it's something about Japanese society where even if they're insulted or slighted or like they've got a problem, they usually never mention it to anybody, okay? It's usually like very upfront, very smiley, very cheery. But this guy clearly like throws a snowball at somebody who's just trying to do their job, okay? Now, if this happened in America, if this happened in Canada even, right? Like, even Canadians aren't this goddamn nice. You might hear a couple slurs thrown at you, okay? And honestly, I'd probably side with the staff member if they decided to do it. He goes in for a hug, and the staff member's like, nah, I'm just gonna stay away. I don't want to get the old stabby, if you will, too. Like, this guy's actually a little worried. He's like, is this one of those crackheads I've heard so much about on the internet? Ooh.
Sorry. Go on my side.
What's wrong with you?
Wait, what?
What's wrong with him? What's wrong with you?
I just threw a snowball.
Yeah, why? Why?
Do you want me
Why in the face of a staff member here?
Do you want me to throw a snowball at you?
So yeah, he gets into it with like an actual individual here, and he's got a right point. Like if the guy's actually bleeding, I believe that actually starts falling into the realm of serious assault. Okay? And you can and should be charged with that, okay? Why the fuck would you choose to be a nuisance like this? And again, it's not like the streamer has any shame in this moment. He's like, would you like me to throw one right at you? To which I'm sure the individual here is like, please, please try. Make my day. This guy's already looking like he could tear this dude apart any day.
I'm a tourist.
Yeah, you're a tourist, obviously.
I live here.
Yeah, but why are you using...
And you should have respect.
Yeah.
I said to him, sorry.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
I said, go no masai, sorry.
The way how he mispronounced sorry in Japanese is sure is something, to be honest. I don't get this shit. No morals, no fears, no understanding of right or wrong, no self-respect, no. It's because these people are clout goblins, man. He's the same thing as Johnny, bro. They just care about the clout. That's it. They commit a crime and they say, "Oh, sorry, but yeah." They always say like it's a prank, you know. It's a prank, bro. I'm sorry, man. It's just a joke. It's just a joke, you know. That's basically their excuse, you know, that they say when they get caught.
Whatever it is, language.
No.
Just
Maybe
do it.
it's maybe it's maybe good to call the police.
Okay, you call the police. You call the police. Call the police.
Yeah.
Yeah, call them.
Maybe better. Why
Okay,
you,
call them. No.
Why,
I hate when people say that. Call the police.
why you showing no respect?
Did I disrespect you? I snowball.
He can't understand.
Bad
you.
snowball.
Snowball?
Snow. This one. Bad.
I thought you live here. Why can't you speak in Japanese?
Because I don't learn the language. I
Okay,
just speak
so,
in English.
Okay, so you live here,
Yes.
acting like an asshole, and you're throwing, and you.
The cops get called in. And again, the German guy raises a good point. These guys just try to bullshit lie their way out of everything.
Yep.
With like the worst charisma checks imaginable. I live here, also I cannot speak the language whatsoever. Like actual trash behavior.
If I lived in Japan or so, at least I would learn at least a good majority of the language itself. Like I can I can understand it a little bit, right? Like it takes me a long process or so when someone speaks it, right? When someone speaks Japanese.
Trash.
But it takes me a while for me to process it, to change it in English, because I haven't kept up with it. I haven't studied with it. That's the only thing.
And there's a thing too about like being in this situation. Like one thing that I really do hate is like, obviously because this is on social media, things get blown up and people immediately are like, well, I guess everyone of that group is suddenly bad. It's why I always hate like reading stupid like posts where it's like, Americans are the worst tourists ever. Chinese people are the worst tourists ever. Canadians are just the nicest people in the world. Bro, you're overly generalizing a group of people. There's obviously bad and good people in every group out there.
Of course.
This guy is just the one terrible fucking person.
Yeah.
That is
100%.
the representation, unfortunately, on the internet and the world of his group of people. Okay, so I just want to, when I make these videos, I just want to laugh at the individual, and that's pretty much where I kind of leave it at. Obviously, the cops get involved. And yeah, they're just wasting the time of law enforcement officers, and they're wasting the time of, again, basically everyone in this situation. This is just brain dead behavior. Now, one thing that I always like to see is like a fake bravado and like an actual combat situation spark. Now, Japan is a nice country. I've said this already in this video, and I've never in my life seen a street fight in Japan, okay? To give you an idea of how nice this society is, Playing a game like Yakuza is a polar opposite. You know, there was one item in a Yakuza game, I think it's called a charismatic photo, where like if you equip it, every 10 steps, you will engage in a fight. If you've never played Yakuza, do exactly what I told you, equip this one item, and you will get the exact experience of a Nuisance streamer. Everyone and their grandmother will want to get into a fucking fist fight with you because they are just that annoyed. So listen to this shit.
Don't touch my
Ah, yes. Yeah, this video.
Don't touch my stuff.
We've seen this video as well.
My stuff. Fucking dumbass.
So again, going to any bar, they just get kicked out of it. They're always getting into fights at a bar.
But we actually had context for this specific thing, you know. The dude was actually grabbing the girl's hand and was trying to get her to go to a love hotel with him. And then the dude said, like, no, this is my girlfriend. But the guy still kept persisting or so. And then, well, you know, it kind of escalated.
Bar because they're being nuisances. So this moment in time, this one streamer just starts off and literally has an actual assault happen to them on camera.
Get the out of here, bro.
Super f***ing beta male.
What? He's a what? A beta male? I want you to remember that word, okay? I want you to remember because the next minute is not going to be too kind to this man. Karma will strike.
Come on, Japan. Like, is this how it is out here? What the? What are you doing? Yo, what?
Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, in the streets of Sapporo,
Yeah.
what has happened is the average Japanese person started grabbing bottles and are now attacking the individual. You know, every time I read about places like London, everyone's like, oh, mate, you might get stabbed in old London. Might be scary. But in Japan, they're chasing at you with bottles. This guy said the word beta male, right? Now, exactly a few minutes later, he's running away. He's getting chased. He's getting chased by a level 30 raid boss, dude. This is just insanity.
Yeah.
What is this? And of course, obviously it leads to further altercations in this situation. And this whole stuff kind of happens for the next few minutes where, yeah, it's full karma. You called a guy a beta male, you pissed him off, and he chases you.
It's not just that, but he was also trying to get his girl too as well. So that's why.
I had a moment, you know, much from the show Boondocks, when Thugnificent goes out and says, I wonder what he did to make them so mad. Because how do you piss off a Japanese person just minding their own business to the point where they're just straight chasing you down the streets? Now, I'm going to assume this guy is a South Asian, whether it be Pakistani, Bangladeshi, or Indian. And I'm just going to say it for the record. All right, I don't care. This man should absolutely be deported from Japan. 100%.
Yes.
No questions
Yes.
asked, okay? Not only should he be deported from Japan, but he
I
should
feel
be
like people who do this stuff or so in their country, they should get deported back. They should be banned.
Stateless by the country that he is being deported to, okay? This man should spend the rest of his life in an airport, okay? Basically sucking off crumbs, for crying out loud. So according to the good old-fashioned
Oh, here we go.
context tool for me, basically what happened in this situation was apparently these streamers invited a girl at a bar to something known as a love hotel. Now, for anybody who's too young to understand what a love hotel is, it's a place you go to fuck for an hour, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this alone is kind of shitty to do anyways, or it just shows some low-class behavior. And then, of course, politely is told by the boyfriend to not say that shit to his girlfriend. Now, this is where I said Japanese people are really nice. If you said this shit in, like, America or something, you'd get popped in the face.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that. Nobody
Yeah.
would even blame the person popping you in the face. So he tells the boyfriend, no, she's my girlfriend. Who? Gangster grabs his phone, tells them to fuck off. Starts taking off his jacket like he's ready to fight, then gets jumped outside. 100% deserved. Now, I don't know if that green text is entirely accurate. Maybe this guy might be, like, completely innocent. I would
No,
wager
he's not.
millions of dollars, okay? I would wager my ass, even, my left nut, that this man is absolutely not innocent in any of this. And I'm pretty sure the boyfriend in this stuff may be 100% in the right.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the whole point
Yeah,
of all
he
this,
1v2'd
ladies
them
and
both.
gentlemen, is these people are making travel notoriously annoying. And it's to the
Yeah.
point where, like, you know,
Yeah.
nuisance streamers, even if you're in, like, the city of Sapporo, people will say, right, like, nuisance streamers in Hokkaido. Aside from the ones making headlines, there's a few other groups of nuisance streamers in Hokkaido now. Their content is drama, and they purposely going around causing issues with businesses and random people. Which, to be fair, I wouldn't even say that content is is drama. It's just straight up harassment, and it's straight up, you know, committing actual crimes in the country.
This is terrible, to be honest, because like they're just gonna get a bad, like I said before, they're just gonna get a very, very bad stigmatization or so about like foreigners now. You know, it's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be actually just terrible for the rest of us who just wants to go over to Japan, being able to like either live stream, kind of show off the country of its beautifulness, you know, the culture, the food, the scenery, you know, all of this like wonderful stuff about Japan. But then you have these people who are just being a bunch of dickheads, basically, and they're just gonna ruin it for the rest of us. So I wouldn't be surprised if Japan starts putting a law or something that it's illegal to stream or something without a permit or something like that. You know, I wouldn't be surprised, you know? The problem here is the influence from bad influencers, clout, virality, recognition, and attention trying to copy such viruses spreading madness. You know, it's just the clout. It's just clout. Just generally clout and the money. These people who say like people who subscribe to their channels and everything like that. You're not helping the situation. It's better to like not even bother giving them money. Yeah, they definitely never been disciplined, to be honest. Like my mother hit me, you know, when I was younger, when I was like, you know, was being, you know, a nuisance. But not really a nuisance. I was mostly like just kind of like not really following the rules or so from time to time, right? And yeah, I got hit before. My sister got hit before too as well. We both got hit before when we were younger, but we're doing fine. We're doing a-okay. We still love our mama Azathoth, you know? It's not like we hate her or anything like that, you know? That's why the one thing that like, you know, that the Asmund Gold says like, oh, if you hit your child or so, you know, it's like a bad thing and blah 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 blah. I'm like, no, not really, to be honest. Not really. Not really. I'm doing pretty much a-okay with Mama Azathoth, you know. My dad's hangers, flip-flops to discipline me. I got hit with like, well, my older brother, me and my sister, we got hit by clothes hangers, sandals, or chancla, I should say. That's a Spanish term for it. Wires, the belts, there was one time where at least from like when I remember right, I don't know, it's so fuzzy or so, I don't really remember. Someone told me the story or so, but I don't really remember it myself. Apparently like me and my sister were like fighting so much or so. They sat us down, they put chili, lemon, and chili on our backs or so, me and my younger sister. And we just fucking licked it off each other's back or so. And it was like our punishment or so for like one of the stories, because we were fighting so much. Like we straight up hated each other. Apparently that's what it was or so. And apparently that was like one of the things too. I remember that I got like I don't remember if it was me or so. I don't know. It's been such a long time or so that apparently like I got threatened or so to get my tongue burned or so. Which is probably like the craziest thing or so. But yeah, that's probably like the craziest thing I've ever gotten. My older brother was a bit different. He got more, because you know he was a guy, right? He got a little bit more aggressive. He got more aggressive punishments or so. But yeah, that's pretty much it. My sister got severely punished one time or so. One time where apparently I wasn't so sure. I didn't even know what was happening or so, because I was like busy doing work or so I had headphones over my ears, where my sister got caught with her ex-boyfriend in my mom's room. And oh boy, let's just say it was definitely not something that was very very well. And my sister was like, apparently she was like half naked or so. And I was like pretty much hit or so on that story. But yeah, like we're doing fine. Like it's not like we hate our mom or anything like that, you know. Well, like we disagree certain things about her. Granted, my younger sister's a little bit more like a little bit more emotional driven, right? Just a little bit more emotional driven compared to me and my older brother. Compared to me and my older brother, we're pretty much kind of like in the same, almost in the same headspace. Almost, not completely though.
And, you know, when you got the police involved, it's like they could be doing something so important. Instead, they're dealing with like a fucking man-child that's flown into the country. Now, again, for anybody before you get into like, oh, Moody, you're teaching people how to snitch. If you're in Hokkaido, for instance, go to this URL, police brief, Hokkaido LGLP. There's an English page where you can absolutely talk to the law enforcement agency in the area. Give them your name, address, phone number, write them a message. Tell them there's a complaint. Tell them there's something. And definitely report your favorite nuisance streamer because absolutely, let me tell you something, the cops will appreciate any of these reports coming in and they'll have a reason to look into some absolute douchebag. You might be like, wow, Muda, you're really going to advocate this? Look, man, I pay taxes, and if I see a douchebag on the street, I'm definitely going to at least report it to the people.
I'm going to be honest with you. These people who are saying like, oh, you're being a snitch, you're being a snitch. Look, I don't give two fucking shits, bro. These people need to learn to get the book slapped on their face, to be honest, because they're just causing a nuisance, like 100% for everyone else. Like they're just gonna put a bad stigmatization on everybody. And if one of the people who's like a fan, quote unquote, a fan of these like streamers or so, right? They want to go to Japan, but now they're getting like the stares, you know, they're getting like the ugly stare, or like they're like calling them, you know, they're calling like racial slurs to them and stuff like that. Well, shit. You decided to support a nuisance streamer, so I'm just saying, because there are people who actually like these people, which is weird, but
that I pay taxes to every goddamn year, so they can at least do something about this piece of shit annoying general society around me. And yeah, that's pretty much, I think, what the streamer wants. Like, a lot of these people really don't care if they actually go to jail about this or they get, like, a charge. I think to them, it's just like a badge of honor. And the reality is, a lot of these guys are really young. They don't really have their shit figured out. But I think it won't really matter if, like, you're a streamer and you deal with enough legal implications, like legal cases, where when you reach your 30s and your 40s and you're not really going to be able to make a big chunk of money anymore off of the streaming stuff, and you haven't invested it right, because I don't really think that a lot of these IRL streamers make a lot of intelligent financial or, you know, legal decisions.
No, they don't. No.
Down the road, that I think this it'll come completely crashing down.
Yeah.
And also, it's like to pivot and navigate away from all this stuff won't really be a possibility with all of the shit that you've built up over the last few years. I'd be interested to see 5-6 years down the road what somebody like Johnny Somali, or really any streamer we've seen in this video, do in their future, right? It's going to be absolutely wild to witness. But yeah, it's caused Japan as a country to like start looking into new laws about this stuff. And look, at the end of all this, the big part of this video for me is it just makes everyone who's not in that camp, you know, just by association, whether you're an American, whether you're a Canadian, whether you're like a foreigner, right? Look bad, okay? Like if I go to a country and I look even similar to Johnny Somali, which some could say that I do, you know, if a Japanese person had a bad experience with Johnny Somali, there's a good chance that their first impression of me will probably bring bad news into their head. And that's not something that I think is necessarily fair to really anybody. And that's why I'm always the one that says that there should be the harshest penalties on somebody like this, okay? None of these people are children anymore. A lot of them are grown-ass adults, okay?
Yep.
And if you can't act like a grown-ass adult, then you're definitely grown enough to be sitting in a jail cell for a little bit, or straight up get your ass fucking deported. Simple as that. But yeah, IRL streaming, man, it's a curse. And it is the funniest train wreck to witness from a mile away. Just don't get that involved into it. Just don't end up being an IRL streamer at some point. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mudahar, and we've got some fun stuff to talk about with Rockstar Games.
I wouldn't be surprised, like, in the future, right? Like, you know, I go to Japan and, like, I either want to, like, you know, maybe stream some of the sceneries or record some of the video, like, record vlogs and stuff like that. And then I find out that I can't do it. I'm not allowed to do it, you know? Because of, like, a new law or something like that. It's just gonna be like, man, dude. It's gonna kind of suck, to be honest. At least for, like, some of us who are just, you know, we're just normal people who just want to hang out, you know? But yeah. Anyways. that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. But yeah. No, I probably would just be sitting there, just kind of like minding my own business at the end of the day. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's the end of the video. Honestly, I would not be surprised if we hear a law or something about Japan later in the future about like all of these like IRL streamers and stuff like that. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And stop being a nuisance in Japan. My ancestors aren't happy with it. And peace.